Yeah, it's your boy Ray on the mic. Let's go.
Welcome to Q&A with Ray. This is your boy Ray White on the mic with Ray White, giving you the answers to the questions that I receive in social media and out in these streets when it comes to helping you as a leader create an inclusive community where every identity belongs and thrives. This particular question that I received today, this particular question that comes from this episode came from a consulting client that I had. And one of the questions that they asked me, and I want to bring to the podcast, is this: how do we ensure we're taking every voice into consideration? This question is drawn upon this idea that our actions, our initiatives, the work that we are doing has a great impact on the people that are a part of our organization's institutions. We are not alone when it comes to the work that we are executing or wanting to execute within our workspaces. And by having that blind spot or that disconnect that what I do has a relationship to what you do, or what I say impacts you, it continues to perpetuate harm, or even we lose sight or lose out on some beautiful opportunities and activities because we haven't created that pathway or access or heard all the voices or the necessary voices that are deeply impacted by the work that we are trying to produce. So in order for us to consider and create the spaces where we're considering the right voices and all the voices and taking into consideration to our decisions, is one, important that we ask that question, and two, is important that we take a look at the decisions that we've made and take a deep breath and pause for a moment and ask, have we considered every avenue and every possibility that this decision can impact and who it can impact? And if once we have gone through kind of that stakeholder analysis, then we have to ask our questions: who are we missing, and how do we go talk to them to ensure that they are aware of what's happening with the decision that we make? Now, I know in this culture of urgency, in the culture of expediency, and just the move fast, break things model that we have been so accustomed to, this high velocity environment that we're part of, it is counterintuitive for us to stop, take a moment, and truly assess if we've gotten all the voices in the room to speak into what we're trying to accomplish. But in not doing so, like I said earlier, we continue to create more harm than good, and sometimes we need to do some rework at work in best case, but in worst case, truly perpetuate oppressive behaviors or continue to cause more harm to the people who are actively part of organizations. And then if we are unable to incorporate their voice into the decisions that we're making, then we will see them leave. We will see them no longer participate. We will just see them continue to feel like they don't belong in the culture that we are trying to create for the organization. So take a step back, pause, breathe. First and foremost, ask the question: who is not being considered in this conversation? Who is not in the room? Who do we need to invite into the room? And how do we not only just make that as a part of this day and age decision, but create a pathway then through surveys, through going to the organizations and talking to people out in the floor or out in our staff, talking to our staff on a regular basis, asking them questions, inquiring along the way as we create our strategies and programming to ensure that what we're doing is going to meet their needs, and have that in mind when we create the plan, but continue to engage them as we continue to develop the plan and make sure that their voices are considered, heard. And the next step from that essentially is turning over an initiative and allowing the people to run with it, to take ownership, the responsibility with it, and you as a leader of positional power, not having to always have a hand in being the one to execute it as well, which is next level type stuff in belonging culture. So if you have a question that you would like to have answered, like me answer, I would love to just connect with you and talk through that anyway. And I can, and if it's, drop it on the podcast as well for other people to hear it. Holla at me at Ray Devante on all social media platforms, and drop your question in the comments too, or DM me as well. And we'll love to be a helping hand supporting you to create a belonging culture where every identity belongs and thrives.